All right, I'm live. So this is Len, Matthew 419 channel. I'm just kind of doing this Google Hangout a little bit impromptu. As you can see by the name of the video or the Hangout, it is about Twitter. I'm actually starting a Twitter account, so you can look me up there. My username is PreSupPreacher. PreSupPreacher. So I just wanted to do something really quick to illustrate a point as to part of the reason I do what I do. A lot of people wonder why I do what I do. There isn't always a good reason, but this highlights something that I think I want to share. I saw it and I thought this is worth doing a hangout over. So I'm going to do a little screen share here. Go full screen. Start my screen share. We'll go to the little infinity page. So when you start a Twitter account, it first asks you to go through and follow 5 people. So I went through and I followed, as you can see on my preview page here, Dr. James White, Chris Roseborough, at Pirate Christian, No Compromise Radio, NoCo Radio, and Bible Thumping Wingnut, of course. And I think the other one that I followed is Wrath and Grace, because they are our sponsor on Twitter. So I've not had a personal account before here on Twitter. But the next thing it has you do is find well-known people, and you can go through and search categories. And I said, well, let's see what's in faith and religion. So I open it. First one here is a Dalai Lama. But I scrolled through this, and what I want to demonstrate is I'm not necessarily even concerned about what the different false religions are, but those who represent Christianity, who show up as like the most popular under faith and religion. Pope Francis, Roman Catholic Pope, of course, but then there's Joyce Meyer, one of the biggest prosperity heretics in the country. Right behind that is Joel Osteen, then Twitter Faith, C.S. Lewis, Deepak, Max Lucado, Rick Warren, Beth Moore. Mark Driscoll is the closest thing when you scroll down. Maybe how far down are we here? Maybe 15 places. And Mark Driscoll, even though he might fall within Christian orthodoxy, he's not fit to be a pastor. He's been busted plagiarizing seven of his books. It's been discovered he's a plagiarist, but that's not even the least of his problem, or I should say that's not even the worst of his problems. He spent church tithing money to get him his last book on the church or on the New York Times bestseller list, so that he could up his fees as a conference speaker to be noted as best-selling author. Mark Driscoll will be speaking at our conference, and that was found that he took that not out of his own pocket, and he is wealthy because he's he's got a huge mega church in Seattle. Anyhow, Mark Driscoll, though he's Orthodox, he's not fit to be a pastor. Then we have Benny Hinn, Lecrae and John Piper, great. David Platt, super. So there's 4 out of maybe the first 25. Kay Arthur, very good. Andy Stanley, blah, not good. Prosperity Light. Let's see here. Bill Hybels, not good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm probably 3/4 of the way down the page. Ed Young, not good. I've found 3 or 4 solid ones. Matt Chandler, very good. So 5 out of maybe 50. Boy, Rabbi Shmuley. Love Rabbi Shmuley. He's a very interesting guy. He debated Dr. Michael Brown, but I've gone through, I don't know, there's probably 50 or 60 here. There's 5 that I would say fall within Christian orthodoxy. There is one of them that, though he is Orthodox, he doesn't qualify to be a pastor. So I have to choose 5, so I'll go ahead and choose the ones that I think will be actually most interesting. So Joyce Meyer and Joel Osteen, they'll be fun. let's see here, Rick Warren, Beth Moore, and Benny Hinn. So I've got those picked out. What's my next step here? So then it wants me to search contacts. I don't want to do that necessarily. I wonder if there's a way that okay, there's a little skip button. Let me skip that. And then I got to find an image. I don't know what I want for an image. I'll come to that later. I just wanted to share this because I think it's so instructive to show, like, when it comes to, and I know that there are those such as Robert Wallace who would say, well, you don't like them because they're not your kind of Christian. There is this massive misunderstanding that anyone who calls themselves a Christian is therefore a Christian. Well, that's not true. You have to, there are things that qualify you and disqualify you from being a Christian. Just like if I said I was a member of PETA, but you saw me going to Texas Roadhouse for steak every night for dinner, you'd probably question whether I'm actually a member of PETA and have a great concern for animal rights and things like that. So anyhow, this is what the whole purpose, for example, of the Bible Thumping Wingnut show is, because those podcasts that we cover, we are covering those who are really good, solid Bible teachers. And we want to expose those to people, to let them know, look, there is great stuff out there. When you look through iTunes, and I could open iTunes real quick, I guess I'm not going to bother because I don't know how fast my internet connection is with Netflix being played in the other room. When you look at in the religion and spirituality section, in the top 20, there's maybe two solid Christian podcasts in the top 20. So if I'm a new Christian and I'm looking to just consume things, it could be very confusing and difficult. You could very easily be led astray. So that's the whole purpose of the Bible Thumping Wingnut show, is to expose people to you jerk. Bible Thumping Wingnut is now Skyping me. I see that. I see what you're doing there. So I want to open up my iTunes account here because I think this is really instructive to show what is really good and bad out there. So I am on iTunes now. Let me go back to share screens here. Hold on 1 second. Uno momento, por favor. All right, let's go full screen. There we go. So if we were to go to iTunes, go to the store, search podcasts, and I'm going to go to religion and spirituality. In the religion and spirituality section, here's the new and noteworthy. Look at what's number 1 on new and noteworthy, the Friendly Atheist podcast. That's weird. Atheism isn't a religion. What's that doing in the new and noteworthy section of religion and spirituality? I know what you're doing. Nice try, Tim. So let's see here. I don't know any of these. Saint and the Sinner, the Garen. I don't know who any of these are. But here's Jesus Culture Sacramento. That is not good. Jesus Culture is horrible prosperity, word faith stuff. Let's see. Gospel Friends, Never Sleep Again podcast, Martin Lloyd-Jones, nothing wrong with that. But, near as I can tell right here, Marketing Like Jesus. Boy, Darren Shearer. I don't know who that is. Mormon Misfit, obviously not a Christian podcast. Let's look over here. In What's Hot, The Village Church. Haven't heard of it. There's R.C. Sproul, probably number 4. I think it goes actually up and down. So Village Church, and then Pray As You Go. Jesuit Media Initiatives. He's trying to mess my hangout. So let's see. There are two good podcasts. These are basically like Ligonier Ministries here. That might be a podcast, but Desiring God sermons, great sermons by Paul Washer, very good. But look at right here, Joel Osteen. Oh, there's another thank God I'm an atheist. I thought atheism wasn't a religion. That's weird, awkward. Greg Laurie, he's decent but Arminian. Hey, look, North Point Community Church. We know somebody who knows a little something about that. Free Thought Radio, another atheist podcast. There's, Mark Driscoll again. Charles Stanley is fine. But most of this just looks like kind of junk, So, and that's, where are you going to go but the What's Hot section? If I'm looking for, okay, what are people listening to? This is the most downloaded stuff. That's how you get onto What's Hot. If we were to click on the Village Church Sermon Audio, we look at ratings and reviews. This is what it is that pushes a podcast up. So here we see they have 709 total ratings, 643 5 stars, and they have 216 reviews. Most of them 5-star. I'd like to find a 1-star. Let's see what someone might have a beef with these guys about, because I've never heard of it. It may very well be perfectly decent. But again, we listen to and report on our podcasts good, solid, reformed discernment, news, things like that, and wow, everything here is 5-star. So okay, so let's see here. Let's see what some of the good ratings are. You won't be the same after you listen to some of these sermons. Okay, so this is a sermon one, which is fine, but some people want to hear news from a Christian perspective, or just hear like apologetics, evangelism, things like that. So let's see here. So this is a sermon. My history teacher had the class listen to one of Matt Chandler's sermons. Okay, so this is Matt Chandler apparently. That is excellent. Matt Chandler is outstanding. He's kind of part of that young restless in reform, but he is growing up and he's less restless than he was probably 5 years ago. So anyhow, that would be a good resource. But the bottom line is, when I go back to religion and spirituality, and we click on the see all of what's hot, what we see is a real shortage of good stuff. There's good stuff mixed in with a lot of bad stuff. So if you're a new Christian, how do you know, sometimes we say eat the meat and spit out the bones. Well, gosh, you might get a lot more bone than meat with this meal. So, but it is religion and spirituality. So everything is going to be mixed in here. You'll probably find like Buddhist stuff in here and New Age and things like that. Anyhow, that's kind of the point of my podcast, or my hangout tonight, guys. Let's see here. Let me take off screen share once again. I have 2 people watching. So anyhow, if you want to follow me on Twitter, feel free to do so. I'll probably be posting my content there as well. It is Presup Preacher. PRESUPPPREACHE. Anyhow, you don't need me to spell that for you. You're all fairly smart people. Most of you, anyhow. All right, that's all I got to say. Peace.